Members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another edition, another episode of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I'm your host, Manager Marty. We need answers. That's how we starting this show off today. We need answers. I hope everybody's doing well. You know, we had a very, very busy weekend. Salute to everybody that came out yesterday for our special edition podcast episode that we had yesterday. And we're back again today. And I wanted to talk about a few things, but I'm trying to queue up, some of this audio so that we can put things in proper perspective on the Vada receipts that will be requested today. Double salute, Andre Noble, member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew. Double salute to Jeremy Austin, another member of the channel and supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew. Good evening and salute to everybody that's in the chat acknowledging me. We're going to have a really good show today. Man, who else we got here? I don't want to leave nobody out. Oh, we got my man Deem here. Come on, man. I got the double salute, Deem. Double salute, my guy, Deem by any means. You know I'm going to roll the tape today because we need answers. Tracy, the only two ways is through Cash App, $ Manager Marty, and then here on the super chat, super chat, super sticker, super thanks. You can join the channel and or Cash App, $ Manager Marty. Those are the ways that you can donate to the channel. I appreciate your support, Tracy. You was on fire yesterday, Tracy, in my chat. Oh man, you had some good comments yesterday. We got a lot of people here. We got the hottest chat on YouTube here today. And guess what? More people are going to come in. Come on in. We need answers. Double salute to my guy, member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew, Matt Thomas. What's going on, Matt? Always a pleasure, my brother. Come on in. Everybody, come on in and have a seat. You know, many of you were here yesterday. It was a total slaughter, massacre yesterday. One of my best performances, I believe. But yesterday is gone, and today is a new day. And so we're going to move right along. I'm trying to queue up this audio about something because I've been thinking lately, and we need answers. We need answers now. And this is what we're going to hope for today. We're actually going to request it. We're going to request some receipts today. I'm trying to queue up some audio. I just want to find the right spot so I can put all this together for you all. Glad y'all are here. What's up, Big Supreme? What's up, Creole? I see you. I'm glad y'all here. This is going to be a great, great show. Not going to hold you all too long. I just want answers to certain questions I have, and I think it's good. I think it's good as boxing fans and the boxing community as a whole to ask questions. People get on YouTube all the time. Y'all know this. I told you all in January of 2024. Remember I told y'all this? I said from now on as a boxing community, we cannot allow people, and I didn't specify names. It didn't matter who it was, anybody, to just use words and talk without providing truth with facts and evidence. That's all we need to see. And so we're going to request some Vada receipts. And I hope y'all don't mind. I'm going to queue a few things up real quick. I just want to queue a few things up because I think it's important when we look at the landscape of what's going on with Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney. Of course, we know on the 22nd of this month, which is what? Wednesday, You know, a lot of people are going to be up in arms on YouTube. Y'all going to see it. Watch what happened on YouTube. When Ryan Garcia's beat sample come back positive, watch the uproar that happens on YouTube. You heard it first live and living color right here. You're going to see everybody say, "We told you so." Ryan Garcia cheated. The beat sample was positive. I told you he intentionally cheated Devin Haney. Y'all going to see it. I'm just preparing you all now so nobody would be surprised when the YouTube boxing community start going into an uproar. Like, we all don't know that the beat sample 99% of the time is going to come back positive. It's the same urine that was given as a sample with the A sample. So, but I told y'all before from the beginning, his B sample being positive is not enough for me because of the circumstances surrounding him meaning Ryan Garcia, making claims that he took supplements. And also, we have evidence years ago, even back in 2017, the CEO, Mr. Tigert, who is the CEO of USADA, came out and talked about how many athletes were testing positive for the banned substance ostarine due to contamination in supplements. So I'm not impressed when the B sample comes back positive, which I believe it will. I'm more impressed to see the test results because Ryan Garcia said, I'm going to hold him to his word like I do everybody else. Ryan Garcia said that he is getting the supplements that he took tested. So I'm waiting for those results to come back. Okay, now if he got those supplements tested, the results come back that basically those supplements were good, they were not contaminated, then I will come out on record. And then I will join the bandwagon of calling Ryan Garcia a cheater. In other words, is he intentionally tried to gain an unfair advantage in this fight with Devin Haney. But until that happens, you won't get an uproar from me because I want all of the facts to be investigated before I can come rushing to judgment. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's okay, Andre Noble. Hopefully it is over with. I saw Andre Noble in the chat. He's a member of this channel, so I can speak on this. I didn't like that she brought, well, he's referring to Rachel Donaire, if y'all looking at the chat. To my understanding, she used a low blow because she could not refute the damning evidence that I presented yesterday against her attacks on my character. I proved that she lied several times. I proved that she has absolutely no integrity. I proved that she has absolutely no integrity. And she lied on multiple occasions. But that's neither here nor there. I addressed her yesterday. I presented all the facts with documentation and receipts. And while I was live, she went on to conduct a live on her own. Right while I was live, she knew I was live, and she went out there on her channel and she conducted a live where she went on my Facebook page from almost a year and some change ago, where my son has some issues going on that I stepped in as a father and dealt with that. She brought up a legal situation of my teenage son. Once again, my son is not a professional boxer, okay? He's a teenager, he's a juvenile, he's just a kid. She used a reference about my son. And so that was a low blow. She never met any of my children. She don't know my children. I never spoke against her family or anything like that. But she chose to use that to divert your attention, the audience, from dealing with the facts that was laid out before her and before you all. And you know how when somebody don't have nothing else, they just start grabbing for reaching for everything. But none of that bothered me. But I will make a public statement like I made yesterday again. Please, let's not take this too far. This is YouTube. We're talking about boxing. Okay? I won't tolerate any comments about my children. I'll leave it like that. Now, that last statement I just said, that's not Manager Marty talking. Okay? Manager Marty is a character. We know that. Okay? That's the dad talking now. The big dog. Let's keep it on boxing and keep it on YouTube. Because I will defend my children at all costs. So let's keep it on YouTube. Don't make this personal. Let's keep this on YouTube. Let's keep it on boxing. That's what we're talking about. We ain't talking about how much money I got. I don't come up here bragging about money I have or none of that. We ain't talking about my finances. We're not talking about my kids. We ain't talking about none of that. This don't have nothing to do with me. We talking about the receipts that was presented. And Rachel was unable to refute anything that I said. So I already proved my point that she's not a credible person. I'm not going to go in detail about what happened yesterday. Hopefully, most of you that wasn't here can go back and watch the replay. I'm only commenting on it, number one, because I want to, and number two, because my guy in the chat, my man Andre, he said how much he didn't like what she did yesterday about my kids. Okay? All right, now that settles that. Let me get this audio queued up for y'all. You know, we're gonna get the audio queued up. Yeah, we're gonna get it queued up because we're talking about boxing. Okay, let's get back to boxing. You know, that's all I'm saying. Let's just get back to boxing. All right. All right. Um, yeah, Planet 619. I mean, hey, we had to pull it, we had to pull that out because that was an interview from Victor Conti. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's all that is. Double salute to my guy again. As I always do when he come through, member of the channel, supervisor of the Roller Tape Film Crew, my guy, Lifeline Music TV. What's going on, big dog? Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm trying to see if this is it right here. Hold on, let me see if hold up. Yeah, I'm trying to pull up some audio. Um, I'm trying to pull up some audio here. We're gonna get to it in a minute. We're gonna definitely get to it. I'm glad that everybody's here. The viewership is increasing exponentially. I'm excited about everybody being here. Hey, Creo. Yeah, hey. We had to pull out the paperwork. You know what I mean? We had to pull out the paperwork because those were Victor Conti's words. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me get this in real quick. And oh man, we got to get this in the. We got to get this in. We got to get this in. Yeah, we got to get this in. Yeah, somebody let Lifeline know what happened. He's asking about something going on. Yeah, no, Creole. That's what I'm looking for now. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play it again. Yeah, that's what I'm about to get that right now. Matter of fact, let me play that real quick. No Diddy. No Diddy, Big Supreme. That is his name. His name is Dick Pound. He is the founder of Wada. That's who, they talking about in the chat. That's the one who, he founded Wada. Yeah, that's his name is Dick Pound. Somebody's in the chat asking about that. They said no Diddy. That is his name though. Let me see if I can get that popping real quick. That audio that everybody's asking about. Let me answer that real quick. All right, I'm about to play this audio real quick. It's another piece of audio I'm looking for, and I thought I had it earlier. Hold on, let me see something. Hold on, let me see. All right, this is one of the pieces I wanted to let y'all hear real quick. And we're going to deal with some more audio that I'm going to play for y'all. This is Victor Conti. I played this yesterday. I'm going to play it again. He's in an interview that was published in June. In fact, the date is June the 21st, 2011. This is way before Vada was officially formed. And this is Victor Conti explaining how Vada is going to be formed as an official agency and his involvement, and he names some other names. So this is June of 2011, published by D-Source. I think they are D-Source TV on YouTube. Well, this is Victor Conti's words, not mine. Creole, no. She did not come. Here's the thing. No one came at me because of this interview. I've had this interview in the archives my first time listening to it 8 years ago. But I forgot all about this interview. And I pulled it out of the crates. You know, back in the day, you know how you had the records in the crates and you pull it out and you know what I mean? You take the record out All that dust was sitting on the record. Then you put it on the record player and play it. You know what I mean? So now, this was the interview. I'm gonna play it again. Here it is right here. Victor Conte's own words in June of 2011. An interview that was published by D Source TV. And this is his words.
Let me interject something here. I'm going to tell you something that we've never disclosed to anybody before, okay? And what we're working on, and we've been working on this, and I'll tell you some of the names because they're already, this has been written about in the boxing magazines. Okay. It's Dr. Margaret Goodman. It's Dr. Flip Homansky. I'm involved. And there's also another very high-profile anti-doping, world-renowned expert involved. We'll reveal who this is shortly, but he is one of the most credible people in the world of anti-doping. Has agreed to be involved. So, and it's called VADA, and VADA, V-A-D-A, stands for Voluntary Anti-Doping Agency. So this is what you're probably reading between the lines here. You know, what have I been talking with Zab about? What have I been talking with Nonito about? What have I been talking with Virgil Hunter, the trainer of Andre Ward, about? We've been working on this since September of last year. And we hope to implement in the near future.
That's Victor Conte. That's what he said. This before VADA was even started. These are his words. You all heard Rachel Donaire say to me on Knockout Boxing's channel last week. She said that I'm creating a false narrative, so to speak, because I'm trying to tie Victor Conte, Snack, and Vada together. In her words, not mine, she said that's effing nonsense. No, excuse me, she didn't say that. She didn't say effing nonsense. She said that don't make no effing sense. That was her exact quote. And the reason why I played that yesterday was because people did not understand where that was coming from. And most of you do understand that I was educating everybody. That's why I'm glad Victor Conte came up here not once but twice. I was educating everybody on the process of VADA, Victor Conte's involvement with VADA, and of course y'all know he owns Snack. All right, but that was Victor Conte right there. Those were his words before VADA was even officially a company. He said that they've been working on forming VADA in September of last year, meaning September of 2010. That's what Victor Conte said. He told all of us, all of the people that were involved in forming VADA. Y'all just heard what he said. You know, he said, Dr. Margaret Goodman, Dr. Flip Homansky, he said, I'm involved. And then he said, there's also a world-renowned anti-doping expert. He's also involved in forming VADA. That's what Victor Conte said. Back in 2011, June of 2011, you know, he also stated, his words, not mine, y'all heard him. He said, you probably are reading between the lines of what I've been talking to Zab about, and what I've been talking to Nonito about, and what I've been talking about to Virgil Hunter, the trainer of Andre Ward. Then he said, we're looking to implement VADA in the near future. So those are the words of Victor Conte. He's connecting himself to forming VADA. He's connecting his brand Snack in forming VADA. Okay? That's him talking. That's what it is. I want to play something else. Table that audio. Table that. Table that audio because I want to play something else. And then I'm going to come back to this again. And that's going to be the determining factor of these receipts. We're going to request the Vada receipts. We're going to request them. Hold on one second. There's a specific audio I'm looking for. Many of you heard it before. I'm going to play it again. Not the audio you just heard. There's another one. Y'all heard it before. In the meantime and in between time, is it possible if we can make the likes congruent with the viewership? Can we increase the likes, please? We want YouTube to push this algorithm far to the max. Okay, because we want everybody to be educated all around the YouTube boxing community, and your support helps when you do this on the likes. When you do that with the likes, whew, the information and education can reverberate all across the YouTube boxing streets. I'm trying to find something important that I want y'all to hear. I mean, y'all heard me play it before a little minute ago, but I wanted to bring it up because it's very relevant to what Victor Conte's saying in this interview right here. Let me see if this is it here. Yeah, everybody come on in. The viewership is still sliding up. We're going to let some more people get in. Come on and have a seat. Come on in. Yeah, I got some audio. Couple of pieces I want y'all to hear. We're going to air fry on it. We need answers. Come on in. Yeah, come on in. Yeah, that's all you got to do is come on in. Because I want to play a few clips here. We want to put things in proper perspective. What's up? Who that? Mad Chat Sports Tavern? What's going on? Appreciate you coming through. Who else is here? I want to make sure, I just want to make sure. Oh, Cash Crypto here? That's what's up. Edward here, GM here. Man, everybody here, man. Big Supreme here. Okay. We got some heavy hitters in the chat. Yeah, let's go. My man Lucky here. Yeah. Salute. Double salute to Estelle. Thank you for your Cash App. Appreciate your support. I appreciate your contribution to the channel. As always, We got a good show. I'm taking my time with this because I want to make sure we don't miss nothing. I don't want to skip over nothing unintentionally because the education is going to come out. Band Up is here. What's going on, Band Up? Yeah. Yeah, come on through. Everybody here tonight. I'm trying to find something, man. When I get this, y'all gonna understand. We're gonna get it. I mean, I really have it. I have it here. I just don't want to play the whole thing out. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're gonna get it done. That's all I care about is getting it done. What y'all think about the fight? Let's engage on that while I'm looking for this. Usyk and Fury. What y'all think about that? The new undisputed heavyweight champ of the world. Usyk, man, he came in and just, man. Usyk, man. I don't know what happened, but Usyk just came through. Man, it was just a good fight, man. Some people think it was a draw. What y'all think about it? Oh, you been in the background, Band Up? Well, we glad you're here. Oh, my man is here. I got to give him a double salute. He's one of my day ones, and he always ride. Because you know why he always ride? He a real one. Double salute to my guy, Carl Brown. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Carl? Oh, yeah, that Brian Norman fight on ESPN? Ooh, they was banging that thing out. They was banging that out, too. That was good. So we had some good boxing this weekend. Yeah. I appreciate you, Demetrius. I seen you in my chat a couple times, Demetrius. And I think you sent me a cash app. So salute to Demetrius. I thank you for your encouragement. I see you. I see what you're saying in the chat. What y'all think about that Fury fight? Man, that joint, man. Whew, they was banging that out. I want to see what y'all think about it. What's next for Usyk? What's next for Fury? I'm hearing a rematch was already put in place before the fight. I don't know if that's true or not. But that's what word on the street is. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah. We need answers, though. I got some questions that, yeah, we got some receipts we going to need. We're going to need some receipts, man. Definitely going to need some receipts. So tell me, I want to see what y'all think about it. I want to see what y'all think about that fight, man. Oh, rematch? Okay, right on. Y'all think Anthony Joshua should get a third shot at Usyk? I mean, he did lose to him twice already. He lost to him twice already. Oh, that Sugar Shane Mosley interview? Yeah. That joint was fire. I pulled up some piece to what he said. I don't know if AJ should. I don't know. I don't know if he should get a third shot. Because, you know, you figure you lost to the fighter twice in a row. But then again, I don't know. It's all about having good representation, as I always tell y'all. So Anthony Joshua, he might be able to get that third fight. I don't know if it's going to draw public interest since he lost to him twice already. Most people would say, well, he can't beat him. He lost to him twice in a row. Double salute, Demetrius. Thank you for your cash app, your support and contribution to the channel. Woo! Double salute. Ironheart is in the building. He's a member of the channel and supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew. The viewership is increasing exponentially. I'm glad that you all are here. I'm just trying to queue up something because there's a couple of pieces of audio I want to play for you all back to back to back. We're going to put some things in perspective, but in the meantime, in between time, while I'm doing this, we're going to talk about Usyk. Let's talk about it now in the chat. Usyk Fury. What was y'all take on the fight? What's next for both fighters? Should there be a rematch? Was this a draw? Was this a controversial decision? Let's talk about it. Let's get all of it out in the open now. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, let's get it in. You know what I'm going to have to do? Let me see what they're talking about in the chat. See, people don't think there's a reason for a third fight. Okay. Oh, quick question. Do y'all agree with the outcome? I know one person in the chat. Salute to you, Tracy, again, as always. Tracy said that the outcome was good. No controversy or nothing. Some people said it was a draw. But, you know, my thing is Usyk, he never gave up. You know, he never gave up. You know what I mean? So I would have to, man, he never quit. He never gave up. He knocked Fury down and he hurt, well, technically he hurt Fury. The refs was holding Fury up, knocked him down, the whole nine. He came back and he finished strong. And to me, Fury was playing around a lot too. If you go and look at that fight, in the beginning, he was playing around. You know, he's playing to the crowd, doing dances, just standing on the ropes. I mean, standing in the ring in the corner with his arms on the ropes. He was like playing around the first couple of 4 or 5 rounds. And you just can't get in there and play around. You got to really stay on task, maintain focus, which is very hard in boxing in that ring. Maintaining focus, especially when you feel as a fighter, you up on the scorecards, 2, 3, 4 rounds. You're like, man, I'm winning this. I'm a breeze through. And the thing that I loved about Usyk, he made the proper adjustments. And anytime you make adjustments in that ring, usually you win the fight. So he made adjustments. So all credit goes to Usyk, but I want to know what your take of it was, because there's some mixed reactions to the outcome of the fight between Fury and Usyk. I felt one piece of the audio that I want to play. I want to get right to it. Well, we've heard interviews from Victor Conte in the past. We've heard them just now. Some of you just got here, and I'm glad you're here. But there was an interview that I conducted with Victor Conte, and I'm going to play it for you all. If I can get everyone's attention here. Mad Chad Sports, yes, I am. Let me get to this because I think this is as equally as important. This is the interview I conducted, the first interview I conducted with Victor Conte, and I want y'all to hear what he said about 365 24/7 testing.
I met Nonito at a bank, and
and they were living in the next city, Belmont, where I live in San Mateo. And I met Nonito at a bank, and then I went to the boxing gym and met with him and some of his trainers and Rachel. And then within a couple of days, Nonito got his blood drawn, and we put together an individualized program for him. And then we brought in track coach Remy Chimney, who works with all the boxers that we work with. And we had about an 8-fight run. And so, you know, I've recently advised Rachel a time or two on some of the testing that she has continued to do. And let me give credit where credit is due. Way back then, when Vada was first founded in 2012, Nonito Donaire was the first boxer ever to do 24/7, 365 testing. Okay, he actually did it 2 years in a row. The first year I sponsored not only Nonito, but shortly thereafter Edwin Rodriguez, and then who fought Andre Ward. But Rachel and Nonito continued on thereafter doing 24/7, 365 and funded this themselves. So Nonito is a clean athlete. He's always been a clean athlete. This, what we'll call anti-doping movement that got started then, both Rachel and Nonito deserve credit because they were some of the very first ones. The very first picture of an athlete on the Vada site was of Nonito wearing a Vada logo on some shirts that we had made. So I have a long relationship with them. And so I just wanted to clarify that knowing her all the length of time that I have and the work that we've done together, her vouching for you is why I'm here. Not
Right. We got that, Victor. We know that's why you came over here, Victor, because Rachel Donaire vouched for me. That's what Victor said. You know, she told Victor Conti, according to him, and according to text messages that we saw from Rachel's video on Friday. She told Victor Conti that I have a good reputation and I'm a man of integrity. And she was being honest about that. But Victor Conti, he said some things that was extremely interesting. And I want to play it again because I think that we have to do what is right in boxing. Let me play that last part again.
okay. So anyway, that's really when I started this, what we'll call Act 3, which was in 2010. I met Nonito at a bank, and they were living in the next city, Belmont, where I live in San Mateo. And I met Nonito at a bank, and then I went to the boxing gym and met with him and some of his trainers and Rachel. And then within a couple of days, Nonito got his blood drawn, and we put together an individualized program for him. And then we brought in track coach Remy Chimney, who works with all the boxers that we work with. And we had about an 8-fight run. And so, you know, I've recently advised Rachel a time or two on some of the testing that she has continued to do. And let me give credit where credit is due. Way back then, when Vada was first founded in 2012, Nonito Donaire was the first boxer ever to do 24/7, 365 testing. Okay, he actually did it 2 years in a row. The first year I sponsored not only Nonito, but shortly thereafter Edwin Rodriguez.
All right, stop right there. Let's talk about that just for a second. So Victor Conti said in 2010 he met Nonito Donaire at the bank. I think that's a good thing. He also stated that Nonito joined his program, the snack program. He also said that he got, drew his blood and gave him the supplements, all the stuff that Victor does when you come into the program, the snack program. He said that Nonito did 2 years consecutively of 365 24/7 testing. In 2012, he said the first year he sponsored Nonito with the 365 24/7 testing. In other words, and he said it later on in this interview, where he said he gave $20,000 to, I believe, Vada to sponsor Nonito Donaire, 365 24/7 testing, and then he gave up an additional 20,000, which will total 40,000, to sponsor Edwin Rodriguez for his 365 24/7 testing. Those are the words of Victor Conte. Okay, and he also said in the interview that I just played before that he talked to Nonito, Zab, and Virgil Hunter. He talked to those guys about his involvement in implementing Vada before Vada was started. Those were the words of Victor Conte if you're just joining us. And so I want to play something that Timothy Bradley said in a recent interview, and I thought it was extremely interesting. And then we're going to tie it all together, and then, we're going to see what we can do to clear the names of, like, Victor Conte. Victor Conte is not guilty. His name ought to be cleared, But let me play something that Timothy Bradley said. I just heard it last night, and I thought it was extremely interesting. Hold on.
In the A sample, they pour a little bit to the rim, to the line, and then whatever's left, they put in the B sample. So whatever was in the A sample should be in the B sample. Okay, it should be in there. All right. So we gotta wait and see. They said he was 6 times over the limit, or some crazy
60
number.
times.
60 times. I mean, God, that's
so you're
that's
not
bad.
buying the conspiracy theories, man.
What do you mean? The test
About
is
the
the test.
devil and Illuminati.
No,
and,
man, look, man. Vada is a trusted company. Just put it that way, a trusted company. I believe in Vada. I believe in it so much that I even paid for my fighters or my opponents. I even paid for them to do Vada testing. Okay, I was like, I'll pay the 20,000 so you can test.
Did y'all hear that? I'm just asking y'all a question. Did y'all hear what Timothy Bradley said? I'm going to play it again if you didn't. I'm talking about the amount that he paid. I agree. He said Vada's a trusted company. That's great. But it's something he said after that. I want to see if y'all heard that. I thought that was interesting when I first heard it. Let me play that again.
times.
60 times. I mean, God, that's
So you're not
bad.
buying the conspiracy theories, man.
What do you mean? The test
About
is
the
the test.
devil and Illuminati.
No,
and,
man, look, man. Vada is a trusted company. Just put it that way, a trusted company. I believe in Vada. I believe in it so much that I even paid for my fighters or my opponents. I even paid for them to do Vada testing. Okay, I was like, I'll pay the 20,000 so you can test.
You heard that? Double salute to my guy, Fort Greene Pharaoh. He is a member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll to Take film crew. And Fort Greene, I told you, I'm a man of my word. I gave you that wrench, my brother. So now you have the wrench. I told you I was going to take care of you yesterday, brother. Let me see if the chat is engaging with me. How much did Timothy Bradley say he paid for his opponents to do VADA testing per opponent? Did anybody remember? I think All Things said it in the chat. Anybody else remember? Y'all said 20? 20,000? Anybody else? Come on, let's see if we can engage on this. I'm going somewhere with this. Stay with me now. How much did Timothy Bradley say that he paid for his opponent's drug testing? In other words, is if he's fighting an opponent, one opponent, he's putting up a certain amount of money per opponent, he said. That's what he said. $20,000. Thank y'all, chat. I love when we engage. $20,000. 20,000. 20 big ones. 20 large ones. 20K. He said he paid 20,000 just for his opponent. He would pay it. The opponent might not wanted to have paid it or couldn't afford it. I don't know. But Timothy Bradley said he paid, boom, $20,000 for one fight. You know? One fight. My goodness. Double salute to my guy, Fort Greene Pharaoh. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Fort Greene Pharaoh says, salute, love, and respect, manager. I definitely appreciate the wrench. But King, just clowning Rachel, King. Okay, yes. So what he's saying is that yesterday, I'm going to put that in perspective so nobody won't think that my man Fort Greene is being disrespectful. Basically, yesterday, I showed some text messages where Rachel Donaire, a week after the fight, the Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight, which Nonito was on the undercard. After that fight, on her video where she tried to expose me, which were lies. But anyway, she basically was saying I dipped off on, you know, Nonito or something, like he lost and I was MIA, right? But a week after that, she actually texted me and asked me for a wrench on the channel. So Fort Greene sent me a super chat yesterday after I posted that text. And he said, dang, I didn't even get a wrench. And I'm a supervisor of the Road to Tape film crew as a member. And we laughed, and he was right. And I did tell him that I was going to get him a wrench. So that's where this super chat came from, all right? Double salute, my guy, Carl Brown. Thank you for your support and contribution of the channel. Carl says, my brother Marty never lied to me since day one. Thank you, Carl Brown. And you're right. I never lied to you, Carl, or anybody else since day one that I've been on YouTube. And I feel so relieved that that all of you that was rocking with me, whether it be from day one or whether it be from you might have just became a subscriber or a viewer last month. You know, you've probably been a subscriber today or a viewer yesterday. The bottom line is never lie to any of you. It's all about having integrity and just, hey, we talking boxing. You know what I mean? We love this sport. Double salute to my guy, Lucky McKinnels. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Lucky says, they pour the A sample into the B sample. Then what's the point of the B sample? Well, that's a really good question. What it is a lot of times when the B sample is administered, right, is basically to make sure that there are no, not make sure, but to ensure that there's no contamination in any of the those little bottles that's being used to basically pour the urine in, you know, because in the past, and this doesn't happen all the time, but in the past, there were times where, hey, just pull the container out. There's two of them. Pour the urine in this container, pour the urine in the other one, seal it up, ship it out. And at the lab, you know, things happen. This is human error happens. And most of the time, the B sample comes back as positive as the A sample, negative as the A sample. Whatever the A sample is, it's the same urine. It usually comes back the same way. But to make sure that there was no, or ensure that there was no contamination and none of the utensils that was used to test, you know, the urine sample, to make sure that the lab was clean, every piece of the process is efficient. Most people say, well, I want to request a B sample because, hey, this could have been, the A sample, you know, could have been poured into a container that had dust in it. You know, just anything can happen, right? That will trigger a positive. But if you're positive, you positive. That's just, we know this to be the truth. So most people just say, well, look, just for protocol purposes alone, let's just request a B sample. But typically the B sample usually comes back as positive as the A sample or negative as the A sample. All right. So that's basically what that is. Hold on one second. I had a question. How much, we're going to get back to it now. How much did Timothy Bradley say he put up? We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. How much did Tim Bradley put up? All right, this is Timothy Bradley. KO Artist Sports is the YouTube channel where Timothy Bradley conducted an interview, and he conducted an interview. He mentioned $20,000. Double salute. Lucky McKinnels, my God, thank you for another contribution and your support to the channel. Lucky says, why is Vada charging $20,000 if they are just volunteering? I don't know. Okay? I don't know how much the test really costs, to be quite honest. And that's what we're going to deal with today, Lucky. We're going to get the answers, hopefully. So let's go back to this. Because when I heard this interview of Timothy Bradley just on the other day, was it last night, I believe? Yes, it was last night. And Timothy Bradley, he said something about $20,000. I heard him. And when I heard him, my ears perked right up. So now let's hear Timothy Bradley again speak on this $20,000 for VADA testing. Here's Timothy Bradley. He's going to disclose how much he paid for each opponent that he wanted to go through the VADA testing process with to make sure that they were being clean as an athlete.
No, man, look, man. VADA is a trusted company. Just put it that way, trusted company. I believe in VADA. I believe in it so much that I even paid for my fighters or my opponents. I even paid for them to do VADA testing. Okay, I was like, I'll pay the $20,000 so you can test. You know, don't worry about it. I'll handle that for you. You know.
Let's do a roll call again of the money. How much did Timothy Bradley say that he paid for his opponent's testing? And that's only just for one fight. That's not all year round. You know, that's just for one fight, just for like maybe 8 weeks at the most, or even the least. Let's just say the least. Let's say 8 weeks the least. Because on VADA's website, it says 8 weeks before bout, all the athletes will be tested. So let's say at least 8 weeks. How much did Tim Bradley say he paid for VADA testing for his opponent? Let's do the recall again in the chat, please. All right, Brian said $20K. Come on, I'm going somewhere with this now. I need you all to stay with me. How much was it? How much did he say he paid for his opponents? Just for one opponent, how much did he say he paid? Timothy Bradley. I see somebody else said 20 bands. Can I get somebody else in the chat? Tell me how much. Okay, 20K. That's right, 20K. I see you. 20K, I see you. Come on, let's engage. I'm going somewhere with this. Stay with me. 20K. 20K. 20K, I see it again. Okay, so basically what we heard Timothy Bradley say is that he paid $20,000 per opponent that he wanted to get tested through VADA to make sure that they are not dirty, right? This is a minimum of 8 weeks. 20,000. That's what he said. And the reason why that number $20,000 is so significant is because when I heard Timothy Bradley use the term $20,000 for VADA testing, my ears perked up because I heard this $20,000 before. I heard that number from somewhere and it sounded very familiar. Oh, that's right. I heard Victor Conte. He said $20,000 and VADA testing in the same sentence too. Y'all remember that? Remember when he was here in the first interview, he said, I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
And it's not, like I said in the beginning, I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for 2 fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch and Nonito for me.
Did y'all hear that? Let's see if we can do another roll call in the chat. Did y'all hear Victor Conte say he put up a total of $40,000 for 2 fighters, $20,000 for one fighter, $20,000 for another fighter? Did y'all hear that? Let's see if we can do another roll call in the chat. How much money did Victor Conte say he paid per fighter? It was only 2 fighters. That's why he said 40 grand. This is just basic arithmetic. How much did he say? Oh, Chop Shop, you didn't hear him? Okay, I'm gonna play it again. I don't want nobody to miss this now. All right. Hold on, Chop Shop. I got you. Don't just stay right there. I got you now. Hold on. And you all can understand where I'm going with this. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
And it's not, like I said in the beginning, I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for 2 fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch and Nonito for me.
How much did Victor Conti say he paid for one fighter over here and then paid the same amount for the second fighter over here, which was a grand total of 40 grand? We're going to split that in half. 40 divided by 2. All right. So basically he's saying, I just want to make sure we're clear on this. So Victor, thank you. I see y'all in the chat. Come on. Let's engage. Stay with me. So basically what I heard Victor Conti say is that he paid $20,000 for Nonito Donaire to be tested for one whole entire year, 365, 24/7. He also said he paid an additional $20,000 for Edwin Rodriguez to be tested as well, 365, 24/7 for the entire year. Am I on the right street here? Right, 20 for Nonito, 20,000 for Nonito for one whole year of testing, 365, 24/7. 20,000 for Edwin Rodriguez for the whole year, 365, 24/7 testing. Am I on the right track? That's what he said, right? Okay, he did say that. Now I have a question on that. Because we just heard Timothy Bradley say he also paid $20,000 for one opponent for one fight for a total of basically a minimum of 8 weeks with Vada testing. And I'm saying 8 weeks because Vada's website states 8 weeks prior to a bout is when they're going to begin testing. So I'm confused. We need answers. Let me get this straight. Now, I know I dropped out of college. I know I act slow sometimes. I might not be the smartest guy in the world. But I'm trying to figure out is, how did Victor Conti and Timothy Bradley both pay the same amount if Timothy Bradley paid for just his opponent? That was just for one fight, just for a couple of weeks. But Victor Conti sponsored 2 different guys for one whole year. I mean, maybe y'all can help me with this math. I'm confused now, man. I mean, like I said before, I'm a college dropout, I don't know a lot of things, I'm not a manager. I'm a manager at Walmart. That's what they say. I do have my high school diploma, though. Of course I have that. I'm just trying to figure out. I don't know. Hold on for a minute. They both paid $20,000. Victor paid $20,000 for testing all year round. And then Timothy Bradley said he paid $20,000, but that wasn't for all year round. That was just for one fight, maybe a couple of weeks of testing. I'm just trying to understand where it had. Somebody in the chat, please help me understand. I'm just trying to figure out. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to figure something out. Double salute. Electric Agitator, my God, day one supporter. Thank you for your contribution and your support to the channel. Electric says, Victor drop Rachel name is a dog whistle. LOL. That was from Electric Agitator. Thank you again. Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know if dog whistle. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just trying to understand. Can someone in the chat help me understand this concept? Please help me understand. Somebody, please help me. I'm starting to get a little bit more confused now.
We just waiting. We waiting on the B sample. That's what we waiting on. The first sample he popped for, I don't, was this Osirine or whatever, performance enhancement drug or whatever. And it was a lot in his system. I don't know if you guys know how that works, but you piss inside of a cup. What happens is they pour some. You gotta hit that level. If you don't hit that level, they say it's too less, not enough. You know what I mean? You gotta do it all over again. But this about that much you did.
Tim, get to the 20,000, Tim.
They pour a little bit to the rim, to the line, and then whatever's left, they put
Get
it
to the 20.
60 times.
60 times.
Yeah, get to the 20,000 again.
The conspiracy theories, man.
What do you mean? The test is
The
the test.
devil and
Yeah, get to the 20,000, Tim.
Look, man, Vada is a trusted company. Let's put it that way. A trusted company. I believe in Vada. I believe in them so much that I even paid for my
How much?
My fighters.
How much?
Or my opponents. I even paid for them to do Vada.
How much?
Okay, I was like, I'll pay the 20,000 so you can test. Don't worry about it.
Ooh, Lord have mercy. That man said 20,000. He didn't say all year round. This is just for a couple of weeks, just for one fight. 20,000, that man said. That's what I heard him say. All right, that was Timothy Bradley. I want to make sure I don't miss anything here.
You all can understand where I'm going with this. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it.
I'm trying to understand something.
Roll the tape.
And it's not, like I said in the beginning, I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for two fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch and Nonito for me.
Man, I don't get it. I know people don't want to. I don't want to say somebody's lying, but somebody is lying. I don't get it. Somebody lying. I don't know what's going on. Timothy Bradley paid for one fighter 20,000, not all year round, just for a couple of weeks for one fight. Victor Conte paid 20,000 for one fighter, 365 24/7. You ain't gonna find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad you're here. So I'm trying to figure out, man, what's going on with this 20,000, man? Okay, so maybe my question should be this. How many times did the opponent of Timothy Bradley test when he paid his 20,000? Because that was only for a couple of weeks, And then how many times did the fighters test when Victor Conte put up his 20,000 for the whole entire year? I'm just trying to understand. So you mean to tell me for 20,000, Timothy Bradley's opponent will test less because they're only testing for a few weeks, just for the fight, one fight. But then when Victor put up his 20,000 for the fighters that he sponsored, that was supposed to be for the whole entire year. So then how many times did they test? I'm just trying to figure out, is 20,000 for a whole year, then it's 20,000 for a couple of weeks. We need answers. I'm just trying to figure this one out. What are we talking about here? I'm gonna play that first part again because I'm having issues with my math. Something's not right. Let me play Victor's words again.
Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
And it's not like I said in the beginning. I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for 2 fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch and Nonito for me.
Well, I'm confused here. You know, because Timothy Bradley said 20,000, and then Victor Conti, he said 20,000. So I think there's only one way. There's only one way where the confusion can abruptly end. There's only one way for the confusion to abruptly end. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. There's only one way for the confusion to abruptly end. There's only one way. Victor Conti told us the way. Because I don't know this 20,000 thing. You know what I mean? 20,000 for Tim Bradley. He paid for his opponent one fight just for a few weeks. And then Victor Conti said he also paid 20,000. Yeah. He paid 20,000. But that was for one of his fighters to test for the whole entire year. There's only one way for the confusion to abruptly end. And Victor Conti told us how. I'm going to play when he told you how. We need answers.
Take my word for it. Roll the tape.
And it's not like I said in the beginning. I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for 2 fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch and Nonito for me.
All right. You heard him? You heard what Victor said. He agrees with me, Tracy. Electric, Big Supreme, AJ64, Brian. Victor agrees with me and what I'm about to say. He said, I already walked the talk. He said, I put up 40,000, 20,000 for Nonito for the whole entire year. 365, 24/7. He said Rachel Donaire and Nonito can vouch for me. The confusion will abruptly end. It's only one way. All that has to happen, according to Victor Conti, is Rachel Donaire and Nonito can vouch for me. That's what he said. Because the thing about it is this. I mean, Victor Conti did tell us that he put up 20,000 for 2 fighters. Nonito Donaire and Edwin Rodriguez, which totaled 40,000 for the whole entire year. That's what he said. Now, you know what's interesting about that? I just have to say this because I think this is equally as important. We didn't see no truth through facts by being presented by proof and evidence. Now, I'm not saying it's not true. What I'm saying is we haven't seen the facts be substantiated by proof and evidence. I mean, we're just going by hearsay. You know what I mean? I mean, we're just going by what Victor Conte said. And I am not here to bash Victor. But if we all keep it 100, Victor Conte has not been a credible source. We've caught him contradicting himself and lying on numerous of occasions. So unfortunately, his word is not good enough to some people. But he did say that Rachel Donaire and Nonito can vouch for him. Well, unfortunately, I mean, Rachel Donaire's word is not really credible either. I mean, I've even proven in the last 24 hours, and then even last week, that I caught her contradicting herself and lying multiple times as well. And that's no shade thrown. These are facts. So because neither two of their words, unfortunately, is credible here before this audience here, I think there's only one way for Victor Conte to be vouched for. And that's through documentation. You know, receipts. You know, the Vada receipts. I think that's a fair request. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, people use receipts all the time as proof and evidence. So I'm trying to figure out, let's show some receipts. I mean, Victor Conte said he sponsored these two fighters in 2012. While I figure, you know, I'm sure there's some saved emails from Vada, you know, that can be presented as receipts. That testing was administered for $20,000. You know, I mean, for the entire year. You know, because Timothy Bradley said he put up $20,000, and that was for one opponent for a few weeks. I'm pretty sure that there can be some receipts that can be shown through email from Vada stating that testing was administered. No, not papers from Vada, you know, through Vada's letterhead. Because there are times as business owners, such as myself and some of you, you know, when we have contracts and different other documents that we use repeatedly, we can actually go into the system. Our logo and letterhead is still there. And all we have to do is just change the dates, you know, and then put a different name of a client in there because the language is still the same. The contractual obligations are still the same. The terms and conditions of the agreement is still the same, right? Well, we don't want anybody to be suspicious of the paperwork, you know, because most people already think that Vada is suspicious and they're doing something wrong and underhanded, and that might not even be true. So to make sure Vada maintain their level of credibility, how about we just see emails from Vada? That first, the $20,000 was paid for the entire year, and that testing was administered for 365, 24/7, because we haven't seen any receipts of none of this. We just went based off of the words of people. But like I told y'all back in January of this year, we can't go by what people say in words in boxing anymore. Everybody that do this in public, well, they should be scrutinized and held accountable to show receipts and documentation if necessary. And I think this is a situation that is necessary. Receipts need to be shown because we keep taking people's words. And it's not good enough because people still have suspicion of Vada. People still have suspicion of Victor Conte. Why? Not because of me. Not because I am tying Vada and Victor Conti and Snack together, trying to present a false narrative. That's not why people are really suspicious. I mean, Victor Conti, in his own words, he even said some things, and he tied himself in all of this. Vada and Snack and him. He tied himself in it. Wasn't me. So, I mean, all I did was present the receipts. Like right now, of Victor Conti in 2011, before Vada was officially formed. And he brought up Nonito's name. Not me, he did. Roll the tape.
Let me interject something here. I'm going to tell you something that we've never disclosed to anybody before, okay? And what we're working on, and we've been working on this, and I'll tell you some of the names because they're already, this has been written about in the boxing magazines. Okay. It's Dr. Margaret Goodman. It's Dr. Flip Homansky. I'm involved. And there's also another very high-profile anti-doping, world-renowned expert involved. We'll reveal who this is shortly, but he is one of the most credible people in the world of anti-doping. Has agreed to be involved. So, and it's called VADA. And VADA, V-A-D-A, stands for Voluntary Anti-Doping Agency. So this is what you're probably reading between the lines here. What have I been talking with Zab about? What have I been talking with Nonito about? What have I been talking with Virgil Hunter, the trainer of Andre Ward, about? We've been working on this since September of last year. And we hope to implement in the near future.
Well, you heard him use the term "we" about 5 or 6 times in that interview. You heard him say that we have been working on implementing this since September of last year, which was September of 2010. You heard him also say that Dr. Margaret Goodman, Dr. Flip Homansky, I'm involved, and a world-renowned anti-doping expert is also involved. He said that there's going to be an implementation of VADA, V-A-D-A, Voluntary Anti-Doping Agency. I already talked to Zab about this. I already talked to Nonito about this. I already talked to Virgil Hunter, the trainer of Andre Ward, about this. That's what he said. And he said, we will be implementing this in the near future. And of course, we know that after this interview, months later, VADA was formed officially. And here we are today. I'm going to leave this live with Victor Conti's words again. And since receipts have been used throughout the last 72 hours, I figure there's some receipts that should be shown that has more to do with boxing. Nothing else. Boxing. Nothing personal. Boxing. So that people can stop being suspicious, or to alleviate and relieve the suspicions that people have of Vada, Victor Conti, and whoever else was involved with Victor Conti. So, I'm going to leave the live with Victor's words. And I'm going to play it again.
You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.
And it's not like I said in the beginning. I already walked the talk. I already did it. I already put up $40,000 for 2 fighters to be tested 24/7, 365. I did this back in 2012. Rachel Donaire can vouch and Nonito for me.
Well, let's test that theory. Victor Conte said that Rachel Donaire can vouch for him. Well, she never had him on their channel, on their show. So we don't know what Victor Conte and Rachel have talked about regarding this matter. But what we do know publicly is that Victor Conte said that Rachel Donaire can vouch for him, that he put up $20,000 of his own money to sponsor Nonito Donaire, 365 24/7 testing. So since we're in an era now of showing receipts, since this all happened in 2012, now we can show receipts. And since Rachel Donaire can vouch for Victor, I think this will be a great opportunity to vouch for him and Vada and herself and even Nonito, so that people can be relieved of their suspicions. And so I encourage Rachel Donaire to vouch for Victor Conte like she's been doing for the past couple of months. Vouch for him on this, nothing else. And that is to show the receipts through email, that 365 24/7 testing was administered to Nonito Donaire in 2012. $20,000 was paid for by Victor Conte. Emails only are only what we are accepting as receipts. Why? Because we want to make sure that people don't try to assume that if you show paperwork with Vada's letterhead on it, people will say, oh, that's not real. Vada did something to, alter the dates. Let's alleviate that. So I think it's fair that Rachel vouched for Mr. Victor Conte. Because since 2012 and all the way up until now, we've never seen any receipts that 365, 24/7, 7 days a week testing through Vada have been administered on any fighter. Not one. We just heard with words that it was implemented. But we've never seen any actual proof. Hopefully we can see receipts since Victor Conte has thrown Nonito and Rachel Donaire into the fire to vouch for him. I mean, listen, it shouldn't be this difficult. In fact, I think it should take no more than 48 hours to provide the receipts of the emails so that people can have more faith in the testing system, especially if history was made, as Nonito, according to Victor Conte, was the first fighter to undergo 24/7, 365 testing. I think that's fair. I think that's a great request. And I think for 94 minutes, I've been doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it. Roll the tape.